إيمان وش نطيب العشاء؟
شوفي يا العزيزة، ماشي الأم اللي تولد تخدمي وتجيبي الرزق.
يبكي على حياتي من كذبة الكذبة.
لا يا بنتي،
تعرفي شحال عندي وانا نسنا في هاد لو مومون.
كان وشك وش خير علينا، خلصنا الدين تاع الدار
وحندورو شويه ولا نقول لك انت قولي وانا نطبق. وينك يا حبه نبداو؟
اختك انتي شاهدة على الشي هذا صح ولا؟
Welcome back to Jamaat Studio, where every episode is more than a chapter. It is an emotional battlefield. So let's begin the review. The episode begins with tension already in motion. There is no slow introduction, no gentle build-up. The atmosphere feels charged from the very first moment, as if the story has been waiting for this turning point. Something unresolved from the past now demands attention, and no one can avoid it any longer. The central theme of this episode is confrontation, not just between people but between truth and denial. At first, there is resistance, an attempt to control the narrative, to reshape reality in a way that feels less painful. But the more the truth is avoided, the stronger it becomes. You can see it in restless expression and voices that hesitate before finishing sentences and silence that stretches too long. The writing in this episode is layered and deliberate. Nothing feels random. Every interaction carries emotional weight. Every word spoken has something hiding beneath it. It creates an atmosphere where even simple exchange feels intense. Midway through the episode, the tension finally surfaces. A truth long suppressed finds its way out, not through anger but through exhaustion, and that's what makes it powerful. The revolution doesn't explode, it lands, it settles heavily into the room, changing the dynamic instantly. Reactions are complex. There is a shock, yes, but also recognition, as if deep down everyone sensed this moment would come. The denial fades, replaced by clarity, painful clarity. This episode doesn't paint anyone as purely right or purely wrong. Instead, it explores the gray areas of human behavior. Pride prevents early honesty, fear justifies questionable decision, and love ironically becomes both the motivation and the casualty of those choices. One of the most compelling aspects of this chapter is how it handles emotional vulnerability. Admitting fault is not easy here. Neither is admitting hurt. There is a struggle between maintaining dignity and exposing raw emotion, and that struggle feels real. Visually, the episode enhances the emotional stakes. Lighting becomes more dramatic as the tension rises. Close-up shots capture subtle expression, a trembling lip, tightening jaw, eyes that reflect both regret and defiance. These details amplify the intensity without needing dramatic theatrics. As the confrontation deepens, so does the understanding. It becomes clear that the conflict was never just about one event. It was about accumulated silence, about unresolved frustrations, about feelings dismissed in earlier moments that now return with greater force. There is a pivotal exchange near the final act that defines the episode, of calm but deeply honest conversation. No shouting, no dramatic ultimatums, and just truth, direct and unavoidable. And in that honesty lies both destruction and possibility, because once the truth is spoken, illusions can no longer survive. The facing is the final moment slows deliberately. It allows the consequences to settle. It gives space for the reflection. No immediate forgiveness is offered. No instant solution appears. Instead, there is awareness, the first step toward change. What makes this episode stand out is its emotional maturity. It doesn't rely on exaggerated drama. It relies on authenticity. The pain feels earned, the reactions feel human, and the resolution feels realistic. By the time the screen begins to fade, the atmosphere has shifted, not lighter but clearer. The conflict has not been erased, but it has been exposed, and exposure, while uncomfortable, is unnecessary for growth. A final image leaves viewers with mixed emotion. There is uncertainty about what comes next, but there is also a sense that something important has finally been addressed. This episode reminds us that avoidance only delays consequences, that honesty, even when painful, creates the opportunity for healing, and that true strength lies not in control but in accountability. When it ends, it doesn't leave you shocked, it leaves you thinking, because sometimes the most powerful drama is not in what explodes, it is in what is finally revealed. So, this has been your dramatic deep dive with Jamal Studio, where every episode leaves a mark behind the screen. Until the next story unfolds, stay ready. So, thank you so much for watching.